One of the more fascinating candidates for a Power 5 job has been handed the opportunity to do just that. According to Bruce Feldman of The Athletic, Deion Sanders has received an offer for the Colorado job, and according to reports, the third-year Jackson State coach had legit interest in taking over as their new coach. Want to find out what truth that holds? Let's dive right in. First up, Deion Sanders gets offered the Colorado job. There have been claims that Deion Sanders, the head coach of Jackson State, has been in contact with power brokers about maybe filling openings at Colorado or South Florida. The position is open at Auburn as well, but Sanders hasn't been in touch with the school yet because he's expected to take a different road. The Pro Football Hall of Famer is in his third season with Jackson State, where he has carried the HBCU team to its best ever 11-0 record. Sanders has also impressed everyone with his recruiting ability, landing last year's #1 overall recruit in cornerback Travis Hunter. According to Chris Hummer of 24/7 Sports, the 55-year-old was a candidate for a number of positions last year, including TCU and Colorado State. With many clubs contacting him, Sanders now has an opportunity to land another FBS position. However, both scenarios will definitely require a lot of rebuilding. Next, why is Colorado going after Deion Sanders? Colorado desperately needs to breathe new life into an otherwise lifeless program. The Buffalo's most recent successful campaign came in 2016, when Mike McIntyre's team went 10-4 and earned a spot in the Alamo Bowl. 2 seasons after McIntyre was fired from the team, the Buffaloes had 2 coaches, Mel Tucker and Carl Dorrell. In over 2 seasons, the latter of those coaches finished 8-15, including a 0-5 start in 2022. He was sacked by Colorado following an unsuccessful start. Meanwhile, Sanders has given Jackson State new life by using his status as the college football and NFL Ring of Honor member to attract unprecedented national interest in an HBCU program. What's more, he gave up his own income to upgrade the program's facilities. An 11-0 unbeaten season in 2022, the first in program history, and a SWAC East Divisional Championship confirmed his status as a great on-field coach. The previous year, Sanders guided Jackson State to the SWAC Championship and a spot in the Celebration Bowl, which is also known as the Black HBCU program's national championship game. Now for Sanders' coaching record. Sanders has a 26-5 record in 3 years at Jackson State, including a 19-2 SWAC record and a 22-2 record in the previous 2 years. In 2021, Sanders won the SWAC Coach of the Year award as well as the Eddie Robinson Award, which is given to the nation's top FCS coach and is named after legendary Grambling State coach and 9-time Black National Championship winner Eddie Robinson. Sanders has undoubtedly earned the attention Colorado has given him, but it is unclear if he believes that this is the chance that he's been waiting for. Moving on, here's a look at the current state of FSU. 6 seasons have passed since Florida State finished higher than 500. You often fall from the top of the college football food chain after a performance like that, and given the current state of their program, it's hard to draw many similarities to their successful past. Tallahassee was the place to go on a Saturday night back then. In fact, for more than 40 years, the Seminoles were the most popular attraction in town. It appeared as though Florida State's only option, whether Jimbo Fisher or Bobby Bowden were coaching, was to win games. The thing is, the program now requires a makeover, and a relic from the past would definitely be the ideal candidate. The past few seasons for FSU have been terrible. The Seminoles are a mediocre club in the ACC, which is becoming more competitive. Even successful times like the victory over number 5 North Carolina in 2020 have been followed by failures. Meanwhile, it seems as though Sanders' stock is at an all-time high. Finally, will Deion Sanders leave Jackson State for Florida State? Let's be real here. The Pro Football Hall of Famer has transformed Jackson State into an HBCU powerhouse in a flash. The Tigers finished 4-9 in 2019. They will have an 11-2 record in 2021. Wow. Sanders is much to thank for that success. He has nurtured a us-against-them mindset behind the walls of Jackson State's locker room. He's also embraced the national spotlight, hosting celebrity appearances by Ric Flair, Snoop Dogg, and the late Young Dolph. Now all that attention brings appeal, and appeal draws in recruits. And if Sanders is good at anything, it's recruiting. The truth is that Sanders has a sharp eye for fresh talent. The better the Tigers perform, the more young talent he brings to Jackson State. Florida State probably wants a piece of that action as well. Mike Norvell is currently in control of the Seminoles. However, the pressure is on with only an 8-13 record going into the 2022 season. The program will hunt for a replacement if Norvell is unable to get it going in Tallahassee, and honestly, it's difficult to think of a better candidate than Prime. Will FSU be able to woo Deion Sanders away from Jackson State? It's anyone's guess right now. During the offseason, Sanders did reconfirm his loyalty to the Tigers. He openly claimed that he's perfectly happy to be where he is at the moment and isn't thinking of jumping into anything else. He also claimed that he feels it's important for him to stay committed to one team for a long time, as that's what God wants for him. Now onto Florida A&M, going 9-2, but snubbed from FCS playoffs. First up, Florida A&M in the FCS playoffs clearly snubbed. On the Florida A&M campus, Selection Sunday became a sad Sunday. A late hit came from the NCAA FCS Selection Committee less than 24 hours after FAMU upset Bethune-Cookman Wildcats 41-20 in the 2022 Florida Blue Florida Classic. According to several sources, Florida A&M was expected to qualify for the FCS playoffs 24-team field for the second year in a row, but was instead left out, leaving a cloud of shock, confusion, and disappointment. Florida A&M just had their only down week of the season. The squad was obviously not focused after dealing with internal administrative problems. FAMU struggled in a 59-3 loss over Jackson State, the number 5 ranked FCS team and well-oiled machine. For the first time in school history, JSU is 11-0 and aiming to win the SWAC championship. A trip to the Celebration Bowl, where they will compete for the HBCU National Championship, is on the line for the Tigers if they successfully defend their SWAC title. Next, the numbers simply don't add up. The numbers simply don't add up. While there are multiple scenarios that don't make sense when looking at the statistics of teams that were granted a bid to the FCF playoffs, one must also question if it is not some type of revenge toward the SWAC. Everyone wants to catch a glimpse of the JSU Tigers, who have evolved into the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey attraction. Three factors have attracted a lot of attention: the potent offense, the swarming defense, and the social media savvy coach. Additionally, the SWAC has the highest conference attendance in the nation thanks to JSU's sizable home crowds at Veterans Memorial Stadium in Jackson, Mississippi. The most entertaining squad in the FCS and SWAC is not available to the NCAA, which places them in a difficult situation. There must be some anger among committee members, especially given Sanders' refusal to participate in the playoffs. Honestly, just one loss to a Power 5 school that might win the conference, one loss to the number 5 FCS club that is unbeaten and could win the conference, and one victory over a D2 school. The other 8 victories in a row were FCS level, with one coming against South Carolina State, the former HBCU national champion, and the other 7 coming against SWAC opponents. FAMU's schedule is similar to that of most FCS schools. Yet, lastly, Sanders and fans react to the snub. Deion Sanders, the Pro Football Hall of Fame's head coach at Jackson State, questioned FAMU's exclusion on social media. Sanders should know after Jackson State defeated Florida A&M in the Orange Blossom Classic. Sanders questioned why FMAU isn't in the FCS playoffs. He also found it incomprehensible that they snubbed the team. It just doesn't make any sense. He's not the only one confused out of his mind, though. We also have fans with emotions ranging from confused, shocked, sad to straight up mad. One fan tweeted how the team had fought epically on the gridiron for an awesome finish this season and added how they still have to fight off the field to prove their worth. Ouch, sounds butthurt. Another fan just called it a perfect snub job and got on with their life. Well, that's a wrap for this video, so do you see Sanders coaching Colorado? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and we'll see you in the next one.